Alright, welcome back Saber fans. So today I've got another build to show you, and this is an OWK by Korbanth with a Crystal Focus 8. Now this saber is really something. With the Crystal Focus 8, the sensitivity is absolutely amazing, and my personal opinion is it's not a saber unless it has a Crystal Focus soundboard in it, because the thing is, once you get used to using those soundboards, even the other soundboards that Plector Labs makes, they're all very nice, but none of them come close to being as tunable as the Crystal Focus, or as sensitive, or is giving you as many options as it does. The Crystal Focus does everything, and it's amazing in the way that the sounds, that it can modulate the sounds with the pitch shifting, with the playback speed, with the spin sounds, and then just the ability that it gives you to fine-tune every last little detail with it. You can really make the saber sound exactly as you want, and I'm a big proponent of those boards. So a little bit about this project. This is a commission from Richard for the UK. Now Richard got in touch with me after seeing some of my other OWK videos earlier this year and said he wanted to do one of these OWKs that had all the accuracy mods, but he wanted it with the Crystal Focus in it. And I told him at the time I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to fit the Crystal Focus in here with the 2-watt bass speaker that Custom Saber Shop sells. The 2-watt bass speaker vented through the grip, that is. And after looking at it, taking some measurements, I decided, you know, it'll just fit. I can make it work, but I'm going to have to design a custom chassis for it. So that's what I ended up doing, and let me go ahead and show you right now. So the chassis, of course, you access through the pommel. So we can take this off here. And if you watch my other videos, you've seen I have one video called Korbanth OWK with Acerocket accuracy mods. And the gist of that video is basically I talk about all of the different ways that you can make these Korbanth OWK kits more accurate to the original prop, which involves using the solid pommel cap that's available at the Custom Saber Shop, as well as the tapered cubes that they also sell, and then powder coating. And then I personally like to use real bike valve here, real presta valve with the correct kind of knurling on it. If we can get the camera to focus here, you might be able to see a little better. There we go. Okay, so I like to use that type of bike valve, which I had to source from Ireland, and I also use a custom 3D printed Hemi button that I designed that's available in my Shapeways shop, and this serves as the auxiliary switch for this build, and of course the red button is the activation switch. Now these are real LED bezels and real clear LEDs that I've sanded to make them look a little hazy like they did in the original prop. Now the kit comes with 2 emitter rings, one for a 7/8 inch blade and the other for a 1 inch blade. I prefer to use 7/8 inch blades in general. I think personally I think 1 inch blades look a little too toyish. I think the 7/8 inch blade is thinner and it just looks a little bit closer to the way they look in the movies, but that's just me. But also it's a practical thing, especially with this type of hilt, because it's very lightweight, and if you have a big heavy 1 inch blade on there, it kind of feels a little awkward. It feels much faster and easier to wield if you use the 7/8 inch blade. So the 1 inch blade emitter was taken and lathed out, and I installed a 1.5 inch fender washer and steel rod insert, which I'm sure if you've seen my other videos, you've seen those before. Alright, so that's the idea with the accuracy mods. Now, let's take a look at the internals. So this is a custom designed chassis that I made, and it also is designed for Prism V5. I have another video up with a Prism V5 OWK build. But now this is the full soundboard, the top of the line Crystal Focus 8, and this chassis is designed to fit that with a 1.3mm recharge port underneath of here. And the kill key is designed by Dimitri Stoke. You can get those on Shapeways at Stoke Custom Works, I believe is the name of the shop. Alright, so just some notes here on how it works. It's very simple. kill key, you just twist it. So if we want to turn this on, we twist it off. Okay, now this is running Fates by Madcow, the sound font. So the board is booted up, so let's go ahead and reinstall the pommel cap. Okay, clock those into position, just kind of eyeball it a bit. Okay, it looks good. Alright, so we are ready to fire it up. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a demo blade in here, but again, just to show you the function of it, your on switch is your red button, and your aux switch is the purple Hemi, which is very low profile, but you can still access it very easily. So let's go ahead and put the demo blade in here now. Okay, this is very easy. We just unscrew this. We unscrew our emitter. And we take our other piece. Now, of course, this is what you would install your full-size blade in, and there's your set screw right there hidden on the threads. Okay, so we got a demo blade in here now, so let's fire this up and show you what it sounds like and what it looks like. And real quick, just the specs, because I forgot to mention this. This is running, obviously, Crystal Focus 8. It has an 18500 7.4 volt battery pack with 1400 milliamps. It has a tri-cree blue-blue-white LED, and it has a 2-watt bass speaker vented through the grip. Okay, very bright. Wonderful flicker effect. It looks like the blade is alive with the flicker and the pulse going very quickly at the same time. It's very nice. Yeah, here we go. So if you're familiar with Crystal Focus, you know what this board sounds like. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I mean, everything is there. And also the way that you move your hand, like if you move it slowly, it slows the sounds down. And if you move it quick, then it like speeds the sounds up. I mean, it's just amazing. Alright, auxiliary switch right here. These are blaster deflections, lock-up sound. Okay, lock-up is really impressive in person. And deactivation is just hold the red button down. Okay. Now, a feature of the Crystal Focus and also the Prism soundboards, if you want a silent start, if you hold the auxiliary button down and then hit the activation button, it'll start silently. See that? And then if you want to turn it off, you hold the red button down and it'll make a power down sound. It's just its way of letting you know, okay, it's back to normal. If you want to change fonts, press the aux button, hold it down until it beeps, and then press it again. And then you can cycle through some fonts here.
Anakin! Prepare a boarding party. The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet. Knights of the Old Rebellion. Skywalker. The Master. Unhinged. The Force Awakens.
Audio player.
Fates.
Okay, so that's just a quick overview. This is my own personal Crystal Focus SD card. So these are all the fonts that I like to use. So let's just cycle through some here.
Anakin! Prepare a boarding party.
That's the Rogue One Vader font. That's really cool. Okay, here's your, this is one Sith's Graflex A New Hope sound font. This is a nice font for a demo.
This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
Because it's very standard. It's a sound almost everybody's familiar with. Yeah, it sounds fantastic. The really great thing about this setup is, in spite of it being the OBTPM style hilt, which is very narrow on the inside, we found a way to make everything fit with using the 7.4 volt 18500 battery pack. There was just enough room in there for that, so you get the full volume and sound quality of the crystal focus, and you still get a decent amount of brightness and runtime. Right now, this battery pack with this setup is lasting about 45 minutes or so, just under an hour, which is pretty good because it's I did not sacrifice anything with the brightness of the blade, and the volume is very high. And having heard this now myself, because the Crystal Focus 8 build I did with the Graflex 2.0 I had earlier this year, I did the 3.7 volt hack with that. And you know, if you watch some videos, some other sabersmiths online, it's a common thing to hear that they don't like to hack Crystal Focus soundboards, and I totally agree with that. And you really do lose a lot with the volume, and with this one, especially with venting the sound right through the grip, you really can't afford to lose volume, because otherwise the saber just doesn't have the same presence it would otherwise. So I'm really glad that Richard was insistent on that, and because the first thing I said was, oh, okay, well, let's do the 3.7 volt hack, and that way it's real easy to make everything fit in there. And he said, no, I want the 7.4 volts. I want the best sound that this thing can make. And so thank you, Richard, for sticking to your guns on that, because this thing turned out great, and I totally agree with you. Okay. So yeah, what else can I say? I'm very proud of this. I think it's really accurate to the original prop, and this is absolutely the best setup you can get right now as far as the saber is concerned, as far as this kind of saber anyway, with the Crystal Focus and the 7.4 volt battery pack. The 28mm speaker that Custom Saber Shop sells is very nice. There are some other speaker manufacturers that I wouldn't mind trying out just to see the difference in sound quality, but this one is, you know, this thing is so loud sometimes it even hurts my ears a little bit, even though it's not vented in a traditional way. Like, it's still loud enough that the higher pitched sounds really do kind of make me wince with them coming out of the grip like this when you fire it up. So yeah, it turned out really, really great. I really like this build, and thank you to Richard for commissioning me to make it. Alright, so with the remainder of this video, because I've pretty much covered everything I wanted to with this hilt, I'm going to take you outside and I'm going to do some demos here with different sound fonts, because I really want to show this thing off. I really want to give folks an idea of how nice the Crystal Focus sounds and what its possibilities are. So let's head on outside, and I'll show you that. Okay, so that gives you an idea of Crystal Focus 8 and some of its features. Now it's almost dark, so I'm going to wait a little bit longer, and when it's really dark, we're going to come back out here so you can get an idea how bright this thing is at nighttime.